Planet games have their following, but it's not exactly Capcom's most beloved series, which meant it was a bit of a surprise when Lost Planet 3 was announced earlier this year. This is a complete departure from form. Instead of a co-op third-person shooter, this is a narrative-driven single-player action game that's part Dead Space and part Mech Warrior. Lost Planet 3 is set before the other two games in the series, and follows the story of the first ever settlers on the inhospitable planet EDN-3. It stars this chap, Jim, a rugged, red-headed American everyman, working in these extreme conditions to support his wife and child back home on Earth. Jim ventures out into the frozen wastes in his construction rig, a giant mech with a grip and a drill arm. Sadly, it doesn't have shoulder-mounted missile launchers or railguns for arms, but it's still pretty useful in a scrape. Through the windscreen you can see electrical storms brewing in the distance, and violent blizzards billowing across the tundra. But you're not invincible. The mech can freeze over in a storm, leaving you vulnerable to whatever unpleasant creatures are out there. On foot, combat feels a lot like the old Lost Planet games, all about diving around and emptying clips of ammo into orange weak spots. Let an acrid get too close though and you'll have to fight it off with a knife. It's pretty tense. When you explore too far from your rig, the minimap and communications start to fail, leaving you feeling very exposed. In the mech, meanwhile, you feel much more powerful, grabbing hold of giant enemy crab claws and drilling them off whilst orange goo splatters across the cockpit. Once you get indoors to explore a creepy abandoned base, the atmosphere of the game changes completely, suddenly transforming into something closer to survival horror. There are clear cues from Alien in the visual and sound design, with ominous noises coming from the vents above and the floors below. It's promising that Lost Planet 3 is able to pull off such a change of pace and atmosphere. Hopefully it means that shooting aliens won't get stale. With the hangar as a base, you can easily see how Lost Planet 3 will develop as you explore further and further out, discovering exactly what happened in this frozen place that nobody wants to admit. We already knew that Lost Planet 3 looked impressive in a hands-off demo, so it's reassuring to discover that it's a lot of fun to play as well. If it can sustain this level of tension and excitement over the course of the whole game, we'll be very happy indeed. Lost Planet 3 is out in 2013. For all you need to know, stay tuned to IGN.com.